I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the one.
Hello my dear friends, welcome back to the channel The Nilgiris Beyond 43, and today in this video we are going to see about the complete review of the Interceptor 650 from the Royal Enfield. So it's a modern retro looking bike. It's an eye catcher with a dual exhaust and this old school headlights with twin trip meters, with this wide handlebar, with a simple look, with a dual exhaust. It's an eye catcher. It's with beautiful stunning looks. Definitely the Interceptor 650 rules the road. Let us begin from the heart of the engine. The engine is a 647.95cc parallel twin SOHC. The SOHC stands for single overhead cam, and this single overhead cam has 4 valves in total, 2 valves for the intake and 2 valves for the exhaust. So it has a bore of 78 mm and a stroke of 67.8 mm. So it's not a long stroke machine, it's a short stroke engine. Compression ratio is 9:5:1. This machine generates a peak power of 47 bhp at 7150 rpm and a peak torque of 52 newton meter at 5150 rpm. And this bike has a wet sump lubrication system with pump driven oil delivery. While coming to the engine oil capacity, the oil capacity for this machine is 3.1 liter for refill and 3.9 liters for a dry fill. So dry fill in the sense, in case if you're having any trouble with the engine or you're reboring the engine, so it requires a oil of 3.9 liters. So the oil recommended is fully synthetic oil. The grade is 10W50, and as per the norms, Jasmo MA2 and more. It's a oil cooled machine with the oil cooler. You can see the oil cooler. While coming to the chassis, it's a steel tubular double cradle frame. While coming to the suspension at the front, it's a telescopic 41 mm diameter with 110 mm travel. And while coming to the rear suspension, it's has a travel of 88 mm, and the rear suspension is a single coil over travel with the gas charged. Bike has a length of 2119 mm and a width of 857 mm including the mirrors, and a height of 1120 mm with a wheelbase 1398 mm. It has a ground clearance of 174 mm with a weight 202 kg. The weight 202 kg is a dry weight. With the oil and the fuel filled up to a level of 90%, the bike weighs 213 kgs. Yes, it's a bit heavier. Coming to the fuel tank has a capacity of 13.7 liters and it's a fuel injection with 2.9 liters in the reserve and 0.75 liters as a dead stock. A dead stock in the sense you won't be able to use this fuel, 0.75 liters. When it comes to the tires and the brakes, the front tire is with 100 by 90 18 inch and the rear is with 130 by 70 18 inch. So the front tire has a PSI, that's the air pressure of 32 PSI, and the rear is with 36 PSI if you're riding alone. With the pillion it's 39 at the rear, and front it remains 32. And the bike comes with dual disc. The front disc is of 320 mm and the rear is with 240 mm, and it gets a dual channel ABS. And when it comes to the transmission, it's a 6-speed constant mesh with multi-plate clutch. and the drivetrain is by a chain. Yes, it's a chain driven. While coming to the ignition, it's a digital spark ignition. You can see a spark plug over here and one more spark plug over here for 2 cylinders. It uses a battery of 12 volt. The headlamp is halogen 12 volt H4. Here you can see the tachometer reading, and this is the RPM meter. Here you have the neutral indicator, ABS, the engine oil level, the engine warning lamp, and the battery indicator. And here you can see the fuel level or the fuel gauge. Here you can see the speedometer. The speedometer is with kilometer per hour. And here you have a dual trip meters. This is the main auto reading. You have trip A and trip B. That's all. It's a basic thing. Since it's a basic thing, you don't have much sensors for this. I hope it has only one sensor for the ABS and one more sensor for this temperature. And the horn is a dual speaker, but with a single tone. The horn is good. It's great. The sound is too loud enough. While coming to the exhaust note, the exhaust is a throaty exhaust. You will feel loud while riding this bike. And this bike can do a top speed of 160 plus kilometer at ease. The cruising speed on the highway is somewhere around 100 to 120. Beyond that, you will be having a lot of wind blast, which is difficult to manage. So other than that, if you are running a taller windscreen, and you can do it 140, maybe 150, all day long. So the road is too dirty here, and it's not a off-road tire or a off-road machine, though you can do a bit of off-roading with this bike. The tires are very bad in such situation. Oh, it pulls me out. Oh my god. Thank God. Actually, I have to thank the God for not making me to fall down.
Так дайте пацанам посчитать потери. Суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени. Заливаю лик, поцелуй на шею. Как там бар, правый назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд, степь нагоят. Мог тебя взять, но ты не моя. Так дайте пацанам посчитать потери. Суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени. Заливаю лик, поцелуй на шею. Как там бар, правда назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд, степь нагоят. Мог тебя взять, но ты не моя. Эти понты покупались в аду, твои мозги затупились к утру. Так дайте пацанам посчитать потери. Суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени. Заливаю лик, поцелуй на шею. как дома, правда назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд, стебли горят, мог тебя взять, но ты не моя. Отдайте пацанам посчитать потери, суммы нули погибать на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени, заливай лик, поцелуй на шее. Как дома, правда назад, черный каскад.